The wind whispered through the two rivers like it always had, soft, familiar, almost comforting. It carried the scent of fresh earth and wood smoke, the kind of smell that made people believe the world was simple, safe, and small. Rand Ulthor didn't believe that anymore. He stood on the quarry road, his cloak pulled tight against the chill of early spring, staring out across the fields that stretched toward Emmons Field. Sheep dotted the land like drifting clouds, and for a moment, everything looked exactly as it always had. But something was wrong. He felt it in the silence. Rand. The voice broke his thoughts. He turned to see Matt Cawthon jogging toward him, grinning like he always did, carefree, reckless, as if nothing in the world could ever touch him. "You look like you've seen a ghost," Matt said, catching his breath. "Or worse, your father actually made you work today." Rand smirked faintly. "Funny." Matt leaned beside him, following his gaze. "You're thinking about Beltane, aren't you? Fireworks, dancing, maybe a certain someone?" Rand rolled his eyes. "Not everything is about girls, Matt. For you, maybe. For me. Always." They laughed, but it didn't last long. The wind shifted again, colder this time. Matt frowned. "You feel that?" Rand nodded slowly. "Yeah, like something's watching." Neither of them said anything for a moment. Then Matt shrugged it off. "You worry too much. Come on. The whole village is buzzing. Merchants are coming, gleemen too. Maybe even a lady from outside." Rand hesitated. A lady from outside. That wasn't normal. Nothing about this year felt normal. By evening, Emmons Field was alive with excitement. Lanterns glowed, voices rose, and the scent of roasting meat filled the air. Children ran between carts, laughter echoing under the darkening sky. And then they saw her. Moiraine. She stood near the Winespring Inn, her presence quiet but impossible to ignore. She wasn't tall, but something about her made the air feel heavier. Her blue cloak shimmered, shifting colors like it held secrets of its own. Beside her stood Lan, silent, watchful, dangerous. Rand felt it immediately. Power. Mystery. Something ancient. Matt leaned in. "She's rich," he whispered. "You can tell." Perrin, standing nearby, shook his head. "It's more than that." Moiraine's eyes moved across the crowd, and for just a second, they stopped on Rand. He felt it like a chill down his spine. As if she knew him. As if she had always known. That night, the world ended. It started with a scream. Rand bolted upright in his bed, heart pounding. The sound echoed again, raw, terrified. Then came the fire. Orange light burst through the window, followed by a roar that shook the walls. "Trarlax," someone shouted outside. Rand's blood ran cold. Impossible. They were stories. Nightmares told to scare children. But then the door burst open. A massive, horned creature stepped inside, half man, half beast, its eyes burning with hunger. Rand didn't think. He grabbed his father's sword and swung. Steel met flesh. The Trarlax roared. The world became chaos. Outside, flames consumed homes. Shadows moved, too fast, too deadly. Screams filled the air. Rand fought, stumbled, survived. But barely. By morning, Emmons Field was broken. Smoke rose from charred ruins. Bodies lay covered in blankets. The laughter of the night before was gone, replaced by silence and grief. Moiraine stood among them, calm but resolute. "This was no random attack," she said. "They were hunting." Rand stepped forward. "Hunting what?" Her eyes met his. "You." The word hit like a hammer. "Not just you," she added, glancing at Matt and Perrin. "All three of you." Matt laughed nervously. "That's not funny." "I'm not joking," Moiraine said. Lan stepped forward. "More will come. Stronger. Deadlier." Perrin swallowed. "Then what do we do?" Moiraine's voice was steady. "You leave. Now." They didn't have time to argue. That night, under the cover of darkness, Rand, Matt, Perrin, Egwene, and Tom Merrilin slipped away from everything they had ever known. The road stretched ahead, unknown, dangerous. Behind them, the two rivers faded into shadow. Rand looked back one last time. "I'll come back," he whispered. But deep down, he knew nothing would ever be the same. Days turned into a blur of travel. Forests whispered with unseen dangers. Rivers roared with hidden threats. Every shadow felt alive. And always, something followed them. Lan confirmed it one night by the fire. "They're tracking us," he said. Matt's face paled. "Trarlax." "Worse," Moiraine said. "Fade." The word hung in the air like a curse. Rand felt a chill crawl up his spine. What is that? Moiraine's voice dropped. A servant of the Dark One. Death given form. They saw it soon after. A rider cloaked in black, its face hidden because there was no face. Just emptiness. And yet, it watched. Rand couldn't breathe. It turned its head slowly toward him. And smiled. Everything began to fall apart after that. In the cursed city of Shodar Logoth, they thought they had found refuge. They were wrong. The city was dead, but not empty. Something ancient lurked there. Something darker than Tralarks, older than fear itself. A whisper echoed through the streets. Stay. Matt was drawn to it. A dagger. Silver. Beautiful. And cursed. From that moment on, something inside him changed. Rand saw it in his eyes. Darkness. They fled, but not together. The group shattered. Rand and Matt alone. Perrin with Egwene. Moiraine and Lan searching. The world became bigger, and far more dangerous. Rand felt it growing inside him. Something he couldn't understand. Something he feared. Power. One night, as they huddled in a barn, Matt shaking with fever, Rand stared at his hands. What's happening to me? He whispered. The wind answered. Or something else did. A voice, not his own. You are more than you think. Rand clenched his fists. No. He didn't want this. Didn't want to be hunted. Didn't want to be special. He just wanted to go home. But home was gone. And the world was calling. When they finally reached Keemlin, everything changed again. The city was massive, alive with politics, power, and whispers of war. Rand stood in the crowd as a procession passed. And then, he saw him. A man with red gold hair. A face that felt familiar. Loghain. The false dragon. Chained, broken, but still smiling. Rand felt something twist inside him. Fear. Recognition. Destiny. Moiraine found them soon after. Relief flooded through the group, but it didn't last. Because now she had answers. And those answers were terrifying. The Dark One is waking, she said. And one of you. Her eyes moved between Rand, Matt, and Perrin. Is tied to him. Silence. Rand's heart pounded. What does that mean? Moiraine didn't hesitate. One of you may be the dragon reborn. The words shattered everything. The dragon was a legend. A savior. A destroyer. A man who would either save the world, or break it. Rand stepped back. No. But deep down. He already knew. The journey led them to the eye of the world. A place of legend. Of power. Of truth. The air itself felt alive as they approached. And waiting there. Was the end. Or the beginning. Rand stood at the edge, staring into something vast and infinite. The wind roared. The ground trembled. A presence rose, dark, overwhelming. The Dark One. Or something close enough. You cannot escape who you are, the voice said. Rand's knees weakened. I don't want this. You don't have a choice. Images flashed, destruction, fire, madness. His future. His fate. Rand screamed. Light exploded around him. Power surged, wild, uncontrollable. He fought it. But it fought back. The world shattered. And in that moment, Rand al'Thor embraced what he feared most. When it was over. Silence. The darkness was gone. The threat, pushed back. For now. Rand stood alone, breathing heavily. Changed. Forever. Moiraine approached slowly. It has begun, she said softly. Rand looked at her, eyes filled with something new. Strength. Fear. Understanding. What am I? He asked. Moiraine didn't look away. You are the dragon reborn. The wind rose again. But this time. It didn't feel gentle. It felt like a storm. And it was coming for the world.